Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs and today I have a card collab for you with Kendra. So let's jump right in to the alcohol ink cards that we've both made. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video and Kendra's video as well. We're both doing a giveaway and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So this is a collab with my friend Kendra. We decided to do alcohol ink cards. We are celebrating the fact that she hit, she's past the 500 subscriber mark now, but we are celebrating that she hit 500 subscribers, and it was a little while. I believe she's over 600 now, which is pretty amazing. And she asked me to do this collab with her as someone who inspires her, which I'm so honored to be a part of. So I'll talk a little more about the giveaway and everything else, but let's jump into the card. So I have a piece of Yupo paper here, a 5x7 Yupo paper, and I've just used two colors. I have Laguna and Denim. And I also have blending solution. And in that little blue bottle there, I also have 99% isopropyl alcohol. I like to use that because I find that it makes my stuff move better, my alcohol inks move better. Blending solution blends and gives you movement as well. But I find that if I want more movement across the page, like you saw there in the beginning clip, that I tend to use the isopropyl alcohol to get the movement as opposed to blending solution, which I just use to blend the colors more so. So it's kind of my rule of thumb for alcohol ink backgrounds. You don't need to. You can absolutely just use a blending solution if that's what your preference is, but this is just kind of how I've been going. And I also have some Pent Art Rainbow Glitter Media ink, which is what you just add to your alcohol inks and it just gives it like a rainbow glittery shine. I don't know how well you guys can see it in the video. I will hold it up here. Like you can see, I just dropped some into my colors there. I don't know if you can see it very well. In person, it looks stunning, but it is a more subtle look. So I'm not sure how much you actually get in the video. And then I have the air blower that's just blowing around my alcohol inks until I get the desired look that I'm going for. And now I did a full panel because we're going to die cut this. And let me tell you guys, the die cutting was a nightmare. It did not work for me, not at all. But I left it in so you could see that, you know, just because of how I edit my videos, you don't always see that I have mistakes or I have frustrations with my cards. And I want you to know, like we all do, everybody has frustrations and mistakes in their cards, and we just do the best that we can. And I'm just creating a 5x7 card base here, scoring it on both sides because this is a very heavyweight cardstock. I have a preference towards heavyweight cardstocks. I believe this is like a 120 or 110 pound cardstock. And scoring on both sides. And then while my alcohol ink panel is drying, I have, this is the, Mini Snowflex dies. They're designed by Tim Holtz and created by Sizzix. And I just have a piece of silver glitter cardstock here. And I'm just going to lay them all out. There's 14 snowflakes in this set, I believe. And I'm just going to lay them all out and cut them all. And then whatever I don't use, I just save. Or I think I put one on the inside of the card in the end, stuff like that. So. And I had no problem getting the glitter cardstock to cut. However, I have not figured out the perfect sandwich for Yupo paper on my machine, and it would not cut all the way through. So you're going to see me struggle a bit here, and I did leave some of that footage in. I cut a bunch of it out because you don't want to watch, I don't even know, it took me like an hour. You don't want to watch an hour worth of me struggling with Yupo paper, but... And I didn't even adhere any of these down. You absolutely could. I didn't. I was too lazy to do that. And there you can see on the top there's all my silver ones cut out. And now we're going to cut the Yupo. So I didn't lay any tape down on these. You absolutely could. You could take pieces of whatever you have, mint tape or purple tape or washi tape, whatever you use, and kind of adhere them down to the thing. I wasn't worried about it because... like they're just going to go through the machine and I was not concerned about them shifting. However, my sandwich was not the right sandwich for Yupo paper. And I'm still experimenting with my sandwich for certain papers because Yupo has like a layer of plastic. Like Yupo's plastic, right? And you can see here, like it cut through most places, but in some places it didn't. So I'm using my pokey tool to kind of try to figure out if any of them cut through all the way, and none of them did. So I'm going to use my mini snips, trim them all out, and then adhere the little snowflakes to each one and run them back through a couple of times. Let me tell you, it doesn't work again. However, at this point, I'm frustrated and angry, so I'm going to make it work. So I put them back through. I think I ran it through twice again here, or maybe even 3 times at this point, and they still did not cut through. So I do off camera, I'm not going to show you this, but off camera, I used my mini snips and my little, the Tim Holtz X-Acto knife. I'm not sure what it's called, and I went around each image and each little piece that wasn't cut properly, and I cut it out. And that's pretty much how I fixed this, because I was frustrated at this point and stubborn and refused to, I mean, you could have just done another background, and then, like tried to trim it out again, I guess, but I chose to just work with what I had going on here. And you put on some music, you put on a YouTube video or whatever you want to watch, and you just kind of mindlessly keep going. So a card that should have taken me maybe an hour or two at most, I think in the end took me like 3.5 because of all this trying to get these pieces out. But I think the card in the end came out really beautifully. So bear with me. This is going to be a bit of an issue, but here you can see that I've cut out most of them and I'm just working on my layout. So yeah, back to the giveaway. I'm going to show you everything I have in the giveaway at the end of this video. Make sure to stick around and watch that if you want to enter. For entering, you need to leave me a comment. You need to be subscribed to my channel. Ideally, leave me a like if that tickles your pickle the right way. And I will pick a winner on, what is this? This is going up Friday, July 16th. I will pick a winner 48 hours later, so July 18th. Bear with me. I work 12-hour shifts at the hospital this weekend, so the video might go up kind of an odd time, but please check back. Just because if you win, I would like you to be the person who gets to claim it. I give you 24 hours to claim the prize. If you don't, I will pick a new winner, and we'll keep going until someone messages me and gets the prize pack. So I will have a full video of me holding up all the items after we finish the card, so you can kind of check it out. So for how I put this together, I did some layers with thin 3D foam squares, you can see here, and then I did some layers just flat. And honestly, I just kind of played around with the layout until I liked what it looked like. I mean, I have a tendency to doing like left to right or right to left, corner to corner. That tends to be more pleasing to my eye. So in this case, I did a left to right corner. And I kind of tried not to have it be too dense in one area. I know the top is a bit heavier. I try to weigh that out in the end with a sentiment that I stamp out and add after we've adhered everything down. And then I just used a liquid glue. In this case, it's Beary Art glue to adhere my flat layers down, and then I said the thin 3D foam squares to add some depth between the two. I do find that there's a bit of a struggle to get things to adhere to glitter cardstocks, so it is a little bit of a battle. I find the foam squares had no issues, but the liquid glue, trying to use it on the glitter on top of the glitter cardstock was a bit of an issue. I think I got it to adhere pretty well in the end, but it was a little bit of a struggle. So just be aware of that if you try to recreate this card, that I do find that glitter cardstocks don't always adhere as well as I would like things on top of them. The bottom is paper, so that adheres fine, but I find the stuff on top doesn't always adhere as well as I'd like. And I did also layer some of my pieces. So you can see some of them have glitter on top. Some of them have, see here, the little snowflake I glued on fell off. So then I put it on with a 3D foam square instead, just because I got mad. And at this point, I'm like, we're making this work. This card is happening. At this point, we're just going to go. So you can see here that I just kind of did different layers. Some glitter cardstocks have the alcohol ink cutout pieces on top of them, and some of the alcohol ink pieces have glitter cardstock on top of them. So just whatever kind of floated my boat with how it was going together. And I think that this sentiment helped ties it back together again. I do know that in this design, it's a bit heavier on the top part than the bottom. And keep in mind, we are going to snip off the excess. So anything that's hanging off, like at this point, it won't still be there because I'm going to snip it off just because it wouldn't fit in an envelope otherwise. I mean, you could absolutely make a bigger envelope if you wanted to, but I was aiming for a 5x7 card. So everything that was sticking out got trimmed off, which does help the balance a bit, I think, now that it's not quite as heavy on the top. But I do think pulling in the sentiment will help balance some of that weight. And for the sentiment, I just trimmed a little label here, and then I stamped out Merry Christmas from a Simon Says Stamp Comfort and Joy stamp set, and then I'm going to create a banner end on the one side, and the other side's just going to kind of go underneath the envelope, or underneath the snowflake, sorry. And I'm going to adhere it with some thin 3D foam squares. And I think that this kind of helps balance the design a bit more than just having the kind of more of a snowflake cluster at the top. I kind of aimed for it to be balanced, but I find that sometimes that's difficult. If you have a lot of snowflakes, or in this case they're snowflakes, but a lot of images you're trying to get to work together. But I think it turned out in the end. And you can kind of see inside of the card base there, I also adhered one of the silver snowflakes. And I saved the one up in that top corner there. I'll add that to the envelope when I sit down and make it. I just haven't made it yet. And excuse me, I just kind of adhered that underneath the label there, or underneath the snowflake, and I adhered that label down. And there is the sentiment. So now I'm going to bring in some gems because I cannot refuse adding all the blings to all the things. But you're going to see here, I put a little bit of extra glue on the glitter ones, more than you would normally need. And then I pressed them down into the glitter because I'm scared they're not going to adhere. So you do kind of have to watch that a bit to make sure it's going to adhere. It did in the end, but it was a little bit of a struggle to get it to stay there. And of course, most of the tops of these were glitter because I thought that they would be quite pretty. And these are just Pink Fresh Studios Glacier gems, I believe. Everything I used will be linked and listed down below if you're ever curious. And if you have ever a question, please let me know. By all means, just ask me a question and let me know what you're curious about or what you want to know. Or if you have any comments or questions for me, please let me know. But yeah, so this is pretty much coming up to the end of the card. I am going to hold it up here so you guys can check out the finished product a little bit closer. And maybe you can see some of that glitter in the alcohol ink. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe I wouldn't have needed it because we were going to die cut them down, but I think that they turned out quite pretty. So yeah, that is the card I have for you with the collab with Kendra. And here in a second here, we're going to jump into the items that I'm giving away. So for the giveaway, I would like you to be subscribed to my channel, leave me a like, leave me a comment. The comment is what's going to enter you into the giveaway. So you do have to leave me a comment. Liking and subscribing is not enough. I need you to comment on the video because I use a random comment picker, and that's how I pick who's going to win the prize. So here I'm just showing you everything that I'm giving away. I tried for kind of a more Christmas themed giveaway, so you can see there's some reds and some kind of embossing powder and whatnot. So make sure you leave me a comment. Leave me a comment about maybe what your favorite technique is, or something like that, and then that will enter you into the giveaway. And as I said, I will draw a name on the 19th. That's right. Tomorrow's the 16th, 17th, 18th, sorry. The 18th of July, I will pick a name, and then if nobody claims it, then we'll do a new name on the 19th. I give you 24 hours to claim. And yeah, so that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you check out Kendra's video and get in on her giveaway as well. I will see you again soon. Thank you so much, and goodbye for now, guys. Bye-bye.